What you're seeing right now is not just an old telescope, but a technological portal from over 100 years ago. This is a 1909 Warner and Swasey antique telescope, the most incredible piece of history that Elgin has to offer, and where it resides is the U-46 Planetarium and Observatory, where it's officially recognized by the Alliance of Historic Observatories, an international organization dedicated to preserving and advancing only the fewest of the greatest historic astronomical places across the globe.
The fact that we have such a historic observatory and that we want to start spotlighting it and showcasing it more and protecting it and preserving it for future use means it's really important to take steps like joining the AHO.
Across the U-46 school district, generations of young students have been visiting the planetarium to learn all about astronomy since the 60s. At that time was the famous space race, in which Mr. Donald Tuttle took the opportunity and created the fourth planetarium built in Illinois.
It's just such an exciting topic for most people that everyone is interested in it, right? And so anyone who comes in the door, they're ready to go, they're ready to learn.
Most students, like me back then, didn't realize that it's not just the planetarium itself. In fact, it's located at the back of 1910 Observatory where it's built from.
When I was a kid coming here as a U-46 student, I had no idea it was up there. We don't go up there, we don't talk about it, we just focus on the planetarium stuff.
Before the planetarium, it was the Elgin National Watch Company Observatory, built to serve the watch company down the street, and became a significant part in the company's legacy until it was sadly shut down and donated. Fast forward to recently, as a result of the AHO, the planetarium hosted actual experts in antique astronomical instruments all the way from Harvard University to inspect the observatory's telescope, then advise U-46 employees like the planetarium teacher Joseph Kellenberger proper maintenance and restoration.
The main piece of historical equipment is the Meridian Circle Telescope from 1909. It's 116 years old. That telescope would then be connected to two chronograph machines that we have here. Those are physical devices for writing down time signature. Basically, every second it would make a mark on a piece of paper, and then you could add in your marks from your observations and use that paper to measure whether your clock is running on time or it's too fast or too slow.
However, it's not only the telescope, as there are more rooms with vintage gadgets that are donated but otherwise associated with the observatory for experts to assess. But that doesn't mean the planetarium has no instruments to preserve and admire.
Equipment inside the planetarium, they don't make anymore. So the control panel that's next to me, the star projector that we use, that will either end up being replaced or preserved in its own right.
The U-46 Planetarium and Observatory has many achievements in its name throughout its history, such as getting added to the National Register of Historic Places in 1994. And now recently with the AHO, the facility and its team took a huge step for its history, and eventually one giant leap for mankind.